All right. Buckle up, everybody, because we're going deep today.
Deep. Yeah.
Deep into the wild world of copypastas.
Oh, yeah.
You know those blocks of text that haunt the internet?
Like digital ghosts.
Yeah, something like that. They're everywhere. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're, well, kind of disturbing.
Oh, it's bizarre, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. And today we're diving headfirst into a whole collection of them it's from this untitled document. And to be honest, I'm not sure what to expect.
I can understand the hesitation.
Yeah.
But think of these copypastas like
Like what?
like cultural artifacts. They're these little snapshots of the online world. You know, they tell us about the people who are actually creating them, what they're thinking, what makes them laugh, what they're worried about.
That's a good way to look at it. Okay, so we've got this whole collection. Where do we even begin? We've got, let's see, pregnancy horror stories, some stuff that's definitely not safe for work. And
Well, we could start with one that really showcases that. That kind of shock humor you see so much online, you know, the stuff that's meant to make you cringe.
oh, right.
There's this copypasta called, get this, Pregnancy is Pure Body Horror.
I think I've seen that one.
The language is, well, it's something.
It's pretty intense.
Oh, for sure.
It starts with, and I'm just going to read this, a creature grows inside you, stealing your nutrients, feeding on you, after having lodged itself as a sperm parasite.
Wow.
It paints a pretty vivid picture, doesn't it?
Definitely not your typical baby shower sentiment.
No, not at all. It's like all dark humor and exaggeration. But you have to wonder, is there something deeper there?
Oh, absolutely. Like, is it about fear? About the anxieties around pregnancy and childbirth?
Maybe it's a way of dealing with all the pressure on women to, become mothers.
Right. Like, what if you're not thrilled about the whole thing? You're not supposed to say that out loud.
Exactly. Maybe this is a way to express those feelings in a place where it's okay to be, well, less than thrilled.
That's a great point. It could be a way to connect with other people who feel the same. You know, build a community around something that's often taboo to talk about.
That makes a lot of sense.
Oh.
Okay, so we've got the shocking, maybe a little subversive.
Yeah.
What else is in this collection? What other kind of internet gems are we going to uncover?
Well, we've got this copypasta called For Boys Only, No Girls.
I saw that one. I think I just skimmed it, though.
Yeah, it's about a boy.
And a toilet.
Yeah, let's just say there's some inappropriate behavior happening.
Okay, so definitely cringeworthy, but it also feels very typical of like those male-dominated online spaces. You know what I mean?
For sure. It's juvenile, absurd, and trying way too hard to shock people. But it also makes you think.
About what?
About how those spaces work. The no girls part is pretty telling.
Yeah.
Like, they're drawing a line, creating an us versus them dynamic.
Right, so it's not just about being edgy.
No, it's about belonging.
Yeah.
About who's in and who's out.
Wow, you can learn a lot from a copypasta.
And
I think I'm ready for something a little more, I don't know, sophisticated, or at least less toilet-related.
How about a copypasta from a self-proclaimed hentai enthusiast?
Oh, I've definitely seen that one floating around.
Yeah, it's full of over-the-top language, very passionate defense of, well, I'm assuming you know what hentai is.
I think I get the gist.
All right, good. So this one starts with, you know what? Yes, I love hentai, but instead of denying it like some spineless ostrich coward, Emma, embrace it. It's
Not a
basic.
manifesto.
I was gonna say a Declaration of Independence, but yeah, that too.
For anime fans with specific interests.
Exactly, and this is where that ironic detachment we talked about earlier comes in.
You mean like pretending to be super serious about something that's, well, kind of ridiculous?
Right, and using offensive language just to get a reaction.
So it's like they're saying, yeah, this is weird, but I own it. Is that a way to deal with like the stigma around hentai?
It could be. Or maybe it's a way of finding your people online, you know? You embrace the thing that's taboo, and suddenly you're part of this subculture.
So the irony is like a shield. It protects you from judgment.
Exactly.
Ah.
It creates a space where you can be yourself, even if that self is a little out there.
Okay, that's fascinating. But before we go too deep down the rabbit hole of ironic detachment, let's switch gears. We've got a copypasta here that's all about politics.
Oh, yeah, the one that's like an apology to Trump supporters.
That's the one. It's so interesting because it uses satire.
To make a political point.
Right. Like, it's framed as an apology, but it's actually a list of critiques.
It's like sneaking in your message under the radar.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's become a popular way to, I don't know, express dissent online.
Oh, totally. It plays with your expectations. You think you're getting a sincere apology, and then bam, you get hit with
With the truth.
or at least a particular perspective on the truth.
Right. It's a clever way to get people talking, to get them thinking about these issues.
Even if it starts with a laugh.
Exactly. It reminds us that even copypastas can be political.
They're reflecting what's happening in the world, the anxieties people have, the issues they're grappling with.
Wow, okay, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by all this serious stuff. Can we take a break from politics?
Absolutely. Let's see. Oh, we've got a copy pasta about Sigma males. It's hilarious, actually.
Wait, the Sigma routine one?
That's one.
I've seen this one making the rounds. It's like super intense, all about self-discipline and, being a lone wolf.
Yeah, it starts with every day, like a true Sigma. My morning routine is always wake up from a 3-hour sleep. Self-care is for losers.
That's the one. It's so over the top. Like, who actually lives like that?
No one, hopefully. That's where the humor comes in, right? It's making fun of those, like, hyper-masculine self-improvement gurus.
The ones who are all about grinding and hustling 24/7.
Exactly. It's like they're saying suffering is the only path to success.
But it does make you think about the pressure on men to be a certain way.
Be tough, stoic, always striving.
Yeah, like you can't be successful if you're also, taking care of yourself.
And that's the dangerous part of this whole Sigma male thing. It reinforces these harmful stereotypes.
Wait, like men shouldn't have emotions.
Or that they should always be in control, never vulnerable.
Yeah, it's a pretty messed up message. Okay, I'm ready for something lighter now. How about some good old-fashioned internet roasting?
Oh, I think I know just the one. We've got a copy pasta where this Redditor just destroys another user.
For what?
Well, let's just say their online activity wasn't exactly impressive.
Oh, man. I love a good roast.
This one is brutal. You almost feel bad for the person getting roasted, almost.
It makes you wonder if people are really that mean in real life.
Maybe the internet just gives people permission to be jerks.
Like, there's no consequences when you're hiding behind a screen.
Yeah, and it can get really toxic. Like, it's one thing to joke around, but it's another to actually hurt someone.
Okay, enough with the negativity. What else do we have?
Let's see. Oh, this next one is pure, unadulterated gamer rage.
Bring it on. I'm ready for some intense emotions.
This one is about a tank in a game, the PZH 2000. And the writer is, well, they're not happy.
I bet they're not. What's got them so riled up?
Let me just read the first line. To the batshit insane crazy retard who gave us the absolute horror known as the PZH 2000, I hope your German ass is permanently going to burn in hell for your crimes against humanity.
Wow. That's a lot of anger.
Right, like it's over the top, but you can feel the frustration.
I think we've all been there. That moment when you're just getting crushed in a game and you feel like rage quitting.
But this copy pasta, it's more than just venting. It's performative.
What do you mean?
Like the writer's putting on a show for their fellow gamers, exaggerating their reactions for comedic effect.
So it's like turning rage into entertainment.
Exactly. It's a shared experience. You laugh because you get it. You've been there too.
Okay, I think I need a break from all this intensity. Can we lighten the mood a bit?
Of course.
Yeah.
How about a simple story? No drama, no rage, just pure silliness.
Sounds perfect. Lay it on me.
Okay, this one starts with, I once knew a guy.
Wait, is this the chicken one?
You know it. The one where the guy gets so drunk he thinks he's a chicken.
That's a classic.
It's just a funny little anecdote, meant to make you chuckle and nothing more.
Sometimes that's all you need, right? Just a little break from reality.
Exactly. And speaking of reality, we've got some copy pastas that are actually commenting on copy pastas themselves. It's like the internet is becoming self-aware.
Whoa, meta.
Right. Like there's this one that describes copy pasta as the essence of the internet, a never-ending sea of recycled words and phrases, afloat in a soup of human apathy and desperation. It's so true, though.
It's funny because it's true. We're all just repeating these phrases over and over again.
But there's a creativity to it, too, right? Like, we're all in on the joke.
And then there's the one about George Orwell ruining this guy's life.
Oh, yeah, the one where he tries to impress a girl with 1984 quotes.
What a disaster. It's like a cautionary tale. Don't try to be too clever online, especially when it comes to romance.
Some things just don't translate well to real life.
So true. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. Is there anything else in this collection that stands out to you?
We haven't talked about the one that describes pregnancy as pure body horror. It's a bit of a heavier topic, but I think it's important to address.
It's a tough one, for sure. I mean, we go from a drunk chicken impersonator to something that's pretty dark.
But it makes you think, doesn't it, about how we talk about pregnancy, about what we're allowed to say.
It's like this unspoken rule, you know? You have to be happy, excited. No one wants to hear about the scary stuff.
But that's what makes this copy pasta so powerful. It breaks the rules.
It calls pregnancy pure body horror.
Exactly. And the language is so vivid, so visceral. It gets under your skin.
It talks about the baby as a creature, stealing nutrients, feeding on the mother.
It's tapping into this primal fear, right? The loss of control over your own body.
And I think that's something a lot of women feel, but are afraid to talk about.
Absolutely. There's this pressure to present this perfect picture of motherhood, the glow, the miracle of life, all that.
But what about the fear, the exhaustion, the fact that your body is going through some pretty crazy changes?
We do women a disservice by pretending those things don't exist.
It's like we're only allowed to focus on the positive. And if you're not feeling 100% happy and grateful, well, there's something wrong with you.
And that kind of thinking can be incredibly isolating. It makes women feel like they're alone in their struggles.
So maybe this copy pasta, as disturbing as it is actually a way to start a conversation.
To acknowledge that pregnancy is complicated.
Yeah.
That it's not always beautiful and magical.
That it's okay to feel scared or overwhelmed or even ambivalent.
Exactly. And I think that's a conversation worth having.
Wow. Okay, I'm feeling a lot of things right now.
Yeah.
This deep dive has been, well, it's been a journey.
It has. We started with these seemingly random snippets of text.
And we ended up talking about everything from internet humor to the pressures of motherhood.
It's amazing how much these copy pastas can reveal about us, about our culture.
They're like little time capsules capturing the anxieties, the obsessions, the weirdness of the online world.
But they also show our humanity, our need to connect, to share our experiences, to make sense of this crazy thing called life.
It's like we're all just trying to figure things out one copy pasta at a time.
And I think that's something we can all relate to, right? The feeling of being lost, confused, trying to find our place.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I have one last thought for you to ponder. What will future generations think of our copy pastas? Will they laugh at them, cringe at them, or will they see them as a reflection of who we were, who we are, in all our messy, complicated glory?
It's a fascinating question, and I think the answer is all of the above. They'll see the humor, the absurdity, but also the vulnerability, the search for connection. They'll see themselves reflected in these digital artifacts, just like we do now.
Well said. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the mysteries of the internet and the strange, wonderful world of copy pastas. Until next time, happy interneting.